Today I got for you guys a guide on how to get every single piece of intel in our final map of Black Ops 6 Zombies Reckoning. And when I say I got a guide on how to get all of them, I mean all of them. By the time you're done watching this, you'll know how to get them all. And yes, that means for that final audio log and document, but a disclaimer on those two, because yes, I will be showing you how to get them, but you technically won't be able to get them until we get the Mr. Peaks field upgrade in the game, because to do the final step of this side Easter egg requires you to use Mr. Peaks, but he's just not in the game right now. So even though I will show you how to get it, you won't be able to get it until they actually add it in the game. So in other words, what you're gonna have to do is just refer back to this video when they finally add Mr. Peaks into the game, but still this video will show you how to get every single one, including those ones. But as always with these videos, if you want to jump to any specific intel, there's bookmarks jumping over to anything you'll need throughout the entire video. But also I do gotta say that this video did take me a ton of effort, work, and time to do, so I'd very much appreciate any sort of support you guys could show to the channel. Drop a like, subscribe, bell, share, and especially join the channel. I would love you for that. But with that said, let's get into the guide on how to get all the intel in our final map, Reckoning. Now to start this all off, let's go over all of the audio logs. And they're going to be broken up to different parts, but the first ones I want to go over are the ones you can just simply find just by looking around the map without having to do anything else. And to start this off, we have one in spawn. It's going to be right at this reception desk, and if you just go to the inside of it, all the way on the corner of it, you'll find an audio log. Next, if you go to quantum computing and you find yourself the room where the crafting table is, go to the corner of this room, and then on this chair, you'll find another one. After that, you want to go to mutant research, and there's a firing range area that's next to the bounce pad that you'll be able to find another audio log on top of these boxes. Next, you want to go to android assembly, and there's kind of a conveyor belt area, also where Wonder Fizz spawns. But if you go all the way to this back corner of it, inside these cubbies, you'll find another one. Next, you want to go to the Forsaken room, and inside of this forklift, you'll find another audio log. Next, you want to go to the executive suite or Juggernog room and immediately take a left into here, and right next to this plant you'll find another one. Next, you want to go to the director's office, and by this pool table in the corner you'll find another one. And for this last one, you want to head over to the pack-a-punch room, and you want to make sure that power and pack punch is on, because you need to have zero gravity, because it's too high and the only way to reach it is if you have zero gravity to get an extra jump. But once zero gravity is on, you can walk up to this broken elevator and just do a jump, and you'll be able to reach this final audio log. Now this next audio log actually requires you to pick it up in the boss fight arena, so yeah, you're going to have to get that far into it. But once you get into the boss fight, you want to head to this edge of the boss fight arena, and on top of these boxes you'll find the boss fight audio log. Now for these next few audio logs, they're going to be in a secret room, and the first one is going to be the secret room in mutant research. Now what you need to do is make sure you have pack punch and power on, and then when you go back into mutant research, you'll notice that there's a monitor here next to Deadshot Daiquiri that is staticky, but if you look at it long enough, you will see that it flashes a word. Now what you want to do is actually make sure you note down the first letter of this word. It doesn't matter what the word is, just the first letter, and then this is going to be your first letter. And what you want to do then is run to the other side of mutant research, and there's going to be another staticky TV, and most of the time it's going to flash another word, and then just remember the first letter and note that down, and that's going to be your second letter. Now sometimes you only get one letter like I do in this game, but most of the time you're going to get two. But what you want to do with these letters is then look at this periodic table, and they are going to correlate to one of the elements on this periodic table. And once you find the one that correlates for you, you can then look at the atomic number, which is the number at the top left, and note down that number. In my game, I got 15. Next, just run up these stairs and you'll find a keypad here, and you'll notice there's a possibility for 3 digits, and if you got a 3-digit code, that's great, then just put that in. But if you got a 2-digit one like I did, all you simply have to do is put 0 and then your 2-digit code. But once in there, you will now find an audio log here in the corner. Now this next one also requires you to open a hidden room, and how you want to do this is head to mutant injection and interact with this thing here that will give you a syringe. From there, you want to make sure that pack punch is on, and what you want to look is at this beam, you'll see a dead body floating in it. And what you want to do is just jump into the beam from this side, and you'll turn into a little orb. You want to run directly into it, and when you do that, you'll then be able to interact with the body on the floor, filling up that syringe with its blood. Next, return that syringe back to where you found it, and this will spawn in an elite mangler. All you need to do is kill it, and he'll drop drop a green mutant injection. Then bring that mutant injection to the Forsaken room on this kind of second level area and stand in front of this box here, activate it, and then now interact with that box. It will scan you, and this will open the teleporter to the hidden room. And once you're in here, in this back right corner, you'll find another audio log. Now this next one actually requires you to do a little Easter egg. And a very important thing about this is that you have to be playing as Weaver. Make sure you select Weaver as your playable character. And then when you actually spawn in the game, this is also very important. What you need to do is do not go into mutant research. Avoid it at all costs, at least initially. But then once you get to round 13, that's where everything changes. But once you get to round 13, now and only now can you enter mutant research. And once you get there, you will know you did this correctly. After opening this area, you'll get a quote from the Sam AI. And when she gives you that quote, you can now interact with this computer here, and it'll give you another audio log. Now for our final audio log, you're going to have to do the safe side Easter egg, which actually also has a document in this. Now this is what I warned you guys about at the start of this video, that we actually can't fully complete this Easter egg because it requires us to use the Mr. Peaks field upgrade. But even with that said, we still already know all the steps, and I will show you exactly how to do it, so when we do get Mr. Peaks added to the game, you guys can refer back to this video and get these final 2 pieces of intel. But how you do this Easter egg, it's going to require you first to get 3 paintings around the map. Now keep in mind you can only hold 1 painting at a time, which will become important in a second. But for the locations, the first one is going to be right in spawn in the teleporter room, and right behind this door you'll find your first painting. The next one is going to be in Android assembly right next to the top bounce pad, and hidden behind this little sign here is going to be your next painting. And our final painting is going to be in the pack lunch room just past this broken elevator in the corner. Now what you're going to do with these paintings is actually take them to this wall in the director's office near the arsenal machine and teleporter, and you'll see spots that you can put them on. Now, like I said earlier, you can only hold 1 painting at a time, so every time you pick up a painting, take it to this wall, and then you could go get your next painting. But once you put all 3 paintings on the wall, you can move on to the next step. And the next step requires you to get an RC car. And when you get it, you want to take it to the Forsaken room, and at the bottom of it, you're going to activate it right here. Because here you're going to have a little spot where you could drive the RC car in. If you drive it all the way to the end, you'll see this dark ether crystal, and you just want to detonate it now. Then from there you want to run up the stairs, and you'll now see that there is a Casimir effect happening right here and will raise up. But what you need to do is look at the crystals that it's spawning in and simply just shoot them all. And once you shoot the final one, it will drop you a safe key. Now when you pick this up, you want to head over to the director's office. And this is where we're eventually going to need the Mr. Peaks field upgrade, because what we would do here is just activate the Mr. Peaks field upgrade, and it would punch this painting off the wall and reveal the safe. Now I can't show you what we do after this because I don't have Mr. Peaks right now, but what would happen is that now you use that key on that safe, but you're not going to be able to open it just yet, because instead what will happen is a mini lockdown that will spawn in an elite enemy that you have to kill. But once you kill that elite enemy, then and only then you can finally open the safe. You'll have access to both an audio log and a document, and as a bonus you'll also get the ether blade. Now we'll move on to the documents. And first let's go over the ones you can just find around the map. The first one's going to be a mutant research. It's going to be a 2nd level area that you could get up to. And all the way at the end of it, you'll find under these sciencey things, you'll find a stack of papers that you could just shoot, and then a document will appear. Next, if you go to Android assembly, just behind where you craft Klaus, in the corner you'll find these robots, but one of them will be holding a suitcase. You simply want to shoot that and it'll drop a document. Next, you want to go to the director's office, and there's going to be a projector here. Just mantle on top of this couch and you'll be able to interact with the projector and it'll drop another document. Next, there's going to be one in quantum computing, but you can't get it from quantum computing. You actually have to go to mutant research and float down, and when you do, make sure you float over to this balcony here, because that is where you're going to find your document. Now our next document actually requires you to get just before the boss fight, because building up to the boss fight you're going to stop at different areas, and one of them is going to require you to shoot crystals off of the wall. But there's also going to be a document, and how you're going to get this is actually going up to this ledge here, and there's going to be a broken area in the fencing here, and you simply want to just make a jump, and on top of this weird sciencey thing there's going to be another document. Our next document actually requires you to do the trash can side Easter egg. And how this is going to work is that there's 8 trash cans around the map that you have to interact with, that they give you something, but when you interact with 4 of them, you'll then be rewarded. But before we get into that, where's the locations of these trash cans? Well, there's actually 2 in spawn. You can start looting right at the start of your game. The first one is just going to be on your right, directly out of spawn. The next one, you just run a little bit more, and around this corner, you'll find another one. Next, if you go to the top of Tower 1, where Juggernog is, you're going to find 6 different trash cans. There's going to be one right here, one next to Blanchard, one on the opposite side of Blanchard, then one up the stairs by this ammo crate, one also upstairs but on the opposite side of the ammo crate, and finally there's a sneaky one in this dark corner in this portal room. I threw a Molotov so you guys could see it. But just interact with all of these until you interact with 4 of them, and after you do that, you could head all the way back down to spawn. And now you will find that directly where you spawn, there's going to be another trash can that is glowing gold that will give you a ton of loot, but also a document. And for our final document, it's actually going to require you to do the safe side Easter egg that we actually can't do until we get Mr. Peaks in the game. But I've already told you guys how to do this Easter egg earlier in this video, and I just don't want to rehash it again. So I'll just refer you back to that timestamp if you missed it earlier. Now for the artifacts. And to be honest with you guys, most of these artifacts are obtained by just doing the Easter egg. And I'm not going to tell you how to do the entire Easter egg here. Obviously, I'm just going to point out at what part of the Easter egg do you get these artifacts. But some of them kind of straight up explain anyways. The first artifact is actually obtained by shooting a Commando Klaus in the arm before you kill him. And if you do that, he'll drop his arm on the floor for you to pick up. Our next one is simply by interacting with this globe on the director's desk. The next one is after you craft the Gogorfex, you'll be able to pick it up, and this will give you another artifact. And the last Easter egg one is going to be by using any version of the Gogorfex and shooting a charge shot over at this balcony and making the fungus head drop on the floor. Now for the unique one, this one's actually pretty interesting, because what you'll find is that in the Forsaken room, there's going to be what looks like a dig spot on the floor here, but you can't dig it up. So instead, how you actually access this is by activating this trap here. And you want to actually do this during a round, because what you want to do is make the trap shoot this thing on the floor. And the only way it's going to shoot this over here is if there's a zombie by it, as you see me do it here. And once it shoots it on the floor, you can then come back and you'll see that it's dropped your artifact. And that is it. All of the intel in our final map of Black Ops 6 Zombies. It's been a fun game, a lot of intel to collect, but now it's all wrapped up, and hopefully my videos throughout the year have been very useful to you guys. But regardless though, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.